Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus here in Arlington, Texas. This is the Profit Break. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, we're glad you're here. Give us 15 minutes and you're going to be well on your way to improving yourself and your profitability. Now, if you're like most small businesses today, staffing has surpassed supply chain issues and even inflation as the number one thing that keeps you up at night. Simply put, there are just too many jobs and too few people to fill them. But there's good news. In fact, I think it's great news. And the great news is BPAA is here to help. You have the opportunity now to earn rebates that you can invest back in your team, which will improve retention and lower your turnover. Now, in today's show, we're going to visit with Mr. Brad Little, who's the managing partner and vice president of operations for the High Five Entertainment Group. Brad, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Bart, it's my pleasure, my honor, actually, so thank you.
Awesome. Well, hey, Brad, before we jump into our topic today, let's learn a little bit more about you and the High Five brand. So let's start off with, tell us about, for those that may not know your locations, about the High Five, where are your locations, a little makeup of some of the entertainment offerings they have.
Okay, well, we have currently two locations in Austin, one in Lakeway and one in North Austin. We break ground on our Allen location on the 10th, so we're all excited about that. And we've announced a location in Jinx, Oklahoma, and we should break ground in Jinx early fall. And then a couple others that we're working on, but we can't make announcements yet. So we're in a really big growth mode right now. But we offer, at the Austin locations, we offer typically bowling upstairs, downstairs, axe throwing, laser tag in the arcade. We have a bar upstairs and downstairs. And if everybody's seeing what I'm seeing, you're seeing some of our pictures of our executive team. We've been together. Carrie and I joined with Kurt, joined Scott and Jenny about 3 years ago, and we've had a fantastic time together. Of course, COVID came in, and we all wondered what other skills we had in case this never came back. But we go from there. So, and going forward, we tweaked the model a little bit to have duck pin bowling upstairs instead of just lanes upstairs and downstairs. We have the 16 lanes downstairs. We're going to do duck pin bowling upstairs, escape rooms, keep the axe throwing in the arcade, in the bars upstairs and downstairs with an upstairs patio. We're adding mini golf going forward, which I'm really excited about. So I am a huge mini golf fan. So we're going to have the water fountains and the waterfalls. So, you know, our motto and really what we try to do is be the best part of our guest day. And so that when they leave us, they've made fantastic memories and they remember how they felt when they were there. As they walk out the door, they have a feeling of, I can't wait to come back. And so to do that, we have to make sure that our staff is bought in and that, you know, we try to treat all of our staff as the management's guests. They are our customers and we have to meet them where they are and hopefully get them to where they enjoy what they do. And I think they do. Interestingly enough, my last thought on this, and unrelated to this call, but very timely, we realized we did for the first time a tenure check. And we're over, on average, over a year tenure for both of our Austin locations. So I don't know what's even good or bad, but I was happy that on average, everybody stays with us at least a year, a little over a year. So that's one thing. To build any kind of momentum, you have to have consistency. And if you can keep your staff, then you have a leg up on making things consistent as the experience goes in your building.
Yeah, good. Well, thanks for that, Brad. Love the High Five brand. You got beautiful locations, and you let's turn to people because you talked about people. It takes people to help make that experience, you know, come to life. And obviously, you guys are doing some great things. But let's talk a little bit about the Bowling University On Demand program and how that fits into your model there. So, how did you learn about the Bowling University On Demand courses, and how long have you been using them?
So I think we're now entering our third month, and I don't remember exactly how we found out. It could have been Kurt, one of our exec team members, who I think notified me, and I'm like, let's go for this. Because, and one, let me thank the BPAA for doing this. It's a fantastic program. Really excited that we're able to do it and take advantage of it. Because not everybody can go to bowling management school or facility management school or bowling university You can't send everybody, although we've sent a couple. We intend to send a couple more. But these courses provide, even for me, a great refresher of, I mean, I literally was going through some of the food and beverage modules, and I'm asking Carrie, who's in charge of the food and beverage, I'm like, do we do that? Are you sure we do that? And because I got back into it because it's not really my lane, but going through the courses, I'm relearning stuff. And it was interesting to find out that we do most, if not all of it. So the program is fantastic for the team. And we challenge the team, and the team has delivered for them, because it's kind of an education when you're dealing with young people that don't go to school to be in a facility like ours. So to widen their knowledge of a service model industry for us was huge. And so, I think you may know, you guys probably keep track, but after 2 months, we're over I think close to $11,000 that our companies earn doing these modules. So thank you guys. It's been fun for the team. We're trying to keep the momentum going. As with all things, you got to find other ways to keep people to finish. They start off strong and then they get occupied with other things. But this has been great for us.
Good. Well, thank you for that, Brad. So before we talk about what you're doing with all that great cash you're earning, and we're happy to be giving that back to our members through this program, thanks to our board of directors, let's talk a little bit about High Five. And if I was fortunate enough to join your team and part of the onboarding, what does that onboarding new team member look like, and specifically, how do the courses get involved in that? Because those are questions we get asked from operators around the country, is how do I start up a new team member, and how do I utilize the online courses with that?
So onboarding is, for High Five, probably a week-long process. That's just assuming you're not a manager. If you're coming in as a manager, it's longer than that, because we put you through every aspect of the company. But first, right off the bat, we have our handbook. We have what we call the High Five Way, and we test on that. Our management actually has High Five University, which is a 2-day course that we test on. So we try to put things out there for the people that work for us to learn and feel like they're part of the team. We want them to absorb the culture that we've created. We're not leaving it to them to create the culture. We're going to show them what our culture is and what our expectations are. And like I said, I think we've done a really good job when you consider, even on average, people are staying longer than a year with us. So, and something like this. So how do you get your staff to do this when they don't have to? Like, you can't make someone do it. I'm not going to sit there and fire someone who doesn't do it. So how do we get them to do it? Well, we offered money to complete path 1. We offered money to complete path 2. And then we offered the GMs money if they were an extra bonus if they were the first ones to get all their managers to complete paths 1 to 4, up to 4. And then we came up with another incentive to kind of push after that to do 10 more courses, and you get some more money. So we've tried to give back the staff for taking the time to do this. And then obviously the money that's left over, we're going to put back into the company. It's not something we're putting in our pocket. This is something we can use to make the facility better. So,
yeah. No, great stuff. I love that you mentioned the culture, and you're helping those new people, even young adults and people working their first job, learn about the culture of your organization and not leaving it up to chance to do that. That's very, very powerful, and I thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned a moment ago, your team is off to a fantastic start. I mean, just early in the program, you're already in over $10,000 in rebates that you've earned to invest back in your people. So tell us a little bit about how you're using those funds now, because fellow proprietors around the country are now, trying to decide, what do I do with the funds now, and how do I incentivize that? Because at the end of the day, the intent is to help reduce turnover and improve, retention there. So how specifically are you using the funds that you're earning?
So to be specific, and I'm going to have to look down to read it to make sure I give you the accurate information, we gave everybody that completed path 1 $50. And any path after that, you got $50 more. If you were first in your department to complete path 1 or 2, you got a $100 bonus. So we want to encourage people to get into it and get going and not start it and not finish it. So that was the start for the employees, all team members. And then the GMs, again, like I said, if they got their managers to complete paths 1 through 4, they got another $100 bonus. And now we're offering $50 more for completion of 10 classes. And we've tried to explain to people, and if people are out there and they've gone through these courses, I think, and I actually, you give me a challenge and I'm just going to do it. Like I sat here morning and the evening and got all of them finished, like to the end. But I wanted to be the leader that showed, the speed of the leader, the speed of the team, right? So I wanted to say, I'm not asking you to do anything I haven't done. And I'm not keeping any of this money and I don't get any bonus from it. But I want to show you that this is doable and it's not an onerous thing. You don't have to knock it out as fast as I did. You can do 1 or 2 a day, 1 a day, 2 every other day. However you want to do it, you will find it enjoyable. You guys did a fantastic job of making it enjoyable to sit through those modules, and the testing at the end was very important. So we try to give them an incentive, and it could come up on, we haven't decided if we're going to do it on the yearly review of how did they take this? Did they take it seriously or did they not? And then we'll decide how to go from there. I'm not going to, like I said, you can't make someone do something. It's not a requirement of our job. We certainly try to incentivize it. It's important to us, and we want them to enjoy doing it and realize how important it can be for them to grow. So that's kind of the approach we've taken, and so far we've had a lot of success. When dealing with young people, you have to dangle something. There has to be something in it for them, which I'm fine with. But like I said early on, we can't send everybody to the schools, so we can bring the schools to them. And thankfully to the BPAA, you've helped us bring some of these classes, the school, to our facility, and they can do it on their time.
Yeah. Well, what you're doing is certainly working. You're getting tremendous traction from it, and I love that. For the workforce that we have in our facilities, you've almost made this kind of a gamification that there's an incentive to finish it quickly, and if I can do it quicker than my coworker, I'm going to get a little something extra as well. So there's that kind of that competitive element, which knowing you and your group doesn't surprise me a bit. I love that you got the competitive element in there.
Well, and we post leaderboards so everybody sees where they are. So we try to go about it with, 1, we're going to incentivize you to do this. But number 2, you're going to see where you rank compared to your peers. And that adds a lot of motivation to people that don't like to finish behind, well, I'm a better employee than Brad. I should be ahead of him. So we've tried to take it both angles, the public posting. So if they feel shame on them.
Yeah. So obviously you've got great traction with the results so far as people completing the courses. Have you or the management team heard any feedback from the frontline folks about the courses or about the fact that you're incentivizing them to do this? Because, this got to be something pretty unique than the other opportunities they could work at down the road.
Yeah, so we have had positive feedback. There's been no pushback. And some of the comments that have stuck with me, even like the CPR, how to do CPR properly. It's one of those things you don't spend a lot of time studying it, and then when you really need it, you need to have something in the bank that you can draw on to try to save that person. So that kind of got everybody's attention that actually could happen in our facility. So that was well done. And just a lot of the customer service, honestly, which accentuates some of the standards that we have. I think we got some feedback that this is not just high five. This is other people affirming what we do and why we do it. So sometimes you have to hear something several different ways before the light bulb may go off. And again, like I said, the modules, the videos were done extremely well. And I won't say they weren't dumbed down, but they were talking the language that we talk in this industry. So it was not above anybody's head. No one ever said, I can't do this. This is too tough. I think they actually enjoyed the great variety that was presented by the modules. Because we don't, as a staff, cover all of those all the time. Over the course of 2 or 3 years, we may address some of these things on an as-needed basis. There's certain things we do all the time. But some of those modules we hadn't covered in a year or two, and so it made for great conversation among with staff because it was something new to talk about.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, hey, Brad, before we let you go, one final question here. For other proprietors and folks that are tuning in today, any words of encouragement about how to get this up and started? I know, the toughest thing about momentum is getting it started. Once you get it started, it kind of feeds on its own. So any words of encouragement for folks that are thinking about utilizing the program and doing some of the great things you're doing?
Well, I will just say whenever you get offered a chance to get money, you should go for it and figure out your staff and what will motivate them. Because we've told them, one, we want to give you money back. Here's a way to earn extra money. And two, this is going to allow us to do such things as improve the facility, maybe new carpet, maybe new bowling pins, whatever. But we let them see that this is not something for the owners to pocket. We want to make it very clear from the beginning. This is to help you, educate you, reward you, and help us improve our facility. And like I said, we kind of made a game out of it. Here's the leaderboard, and we post it every week. And so it kind of motivated people early on, right off the bat. As you can tell by the first month, we did extremely well out of the gate. Second month, we slowed down some, and there's a lot of reasons for that. People are on high school graduation, vacation, but we're making another push this month, and we added another incentive to try to get 10 more classes done, and we actually identified the 10 classes we'd like them to complete. But I think you can figure out what motivates your staff. You have to rely on your frontline managers in a certain way, because we can't, from the ownership, preach it down. We have to have the managers motivating the staff and saying, come on, this is fun, let's do it. So every facility, every place is going to be different. The staff's going to be a little bit different, but you have to find out what works. But I just think it would be a shame to let this opportunity go by for your company and not take advantage of actually great material.
Well, Brad, thanks for joining us. Some great information to share with folks to get theirs up and going. Continued success to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, hey, folks, if you're ready to improve retention, lower turnover, and get your time back, all you have to do is schedule your center's activation call by scanning the QR code on the screen or visit bowlinuniversity.net/bonus. So as we wrap up another edition of The Profit Break, remember, when your focus is on growing people, people will grow your business. This episode, as well as all our previous Profit Break episodes, are available 24/7 for you and your team at bowlinuniversity.net. Plus, new episodes are available every month. Mark your calendar, watch your email, join us on Facebook to hear about the latest episodes. Until then, I'm Bart Berger, and remember, do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. We'll see you next time.